Hello, everybody. I'm not going to stay long. I apologize for not showing up yesterday. I canceled at the last minute because I thought about it. I said, "Oh, it's the Super Bowl. Nobody's really going to be on YouTube like that." So I wanted to do a show, a topic on bullying, and um, it's kind of like an important topic, not just among children, but I noticed it's amongst adults too. Um, I'm not going to be long because it's Valentine's Day and people. It's also my birthday, and I kind of ran around today, and people are running, doing their dating, and all this other stuff. Hi, Sheed. Hi, Grinder. We're just I just came in. Thank you so much for joining. So, I wanted to do this topic because I see a trend in in society today with bullying and even like among adults, you know. And with this young lady, Chesley Chris, the Miss USA, who ended her life. Oh, thank you, Sheet. Yeah, it was a good day today. It really was. I'm grateful to be here. So many people didn't make it to 2022, and I'm so grateful to be here. But I hope that you are having a nice day with your wife and your kids and whatnot. And y'all, I'm not gonna keep stay long today because people are enjoying the night or whatever with their loved ones. So it's not gonna be much interaction. But that was one of the things that kind of brought it to mind. And also I noticed that just how mean and nasty people are in society today, and how it's not just children, but it's adults. So when I see children that are bullying, I wonder what their home life is like. If they see bullying in their home, or if the one or both parents are making like remarks that are hurtful remarks to them or to their siblings, to where uh, they think that it's normal to just rip somebody with their words. So I was surprised to find out through somebody who was another YouTuber that was following Chesley Chris, the Miss USA, that she was actually being bullied on her own platform. I think it was either Instagram or uh, Twitter, and I can't imagine somebody that has so much going for themselves in terms of looks, career, mindset, discipline. That, but I guess people gonna find anything to get on you about something, find something to knock you down about. But really, I Grounded. Were you gonna come up? Were you gonna come up so we could chat about it? Um, so really, I thought it was just very odd because I've actually had some incidences where people try to bully my old behind. Like, what are you gonna, somebody up in age? I mean, how does that work where you bully people up in age? You know what I mean? And then when I go off and come out of character and stuff, then people will look at me with their eyes wide, you know. But I think it's probably just the sign of the times and how things are going. Um, as far as oh, sheet, is that true? I guess it really is because you know what? When I was young, we wouldn't dare say something to an older person. You keep your mouth shut about anything that you don't like about them or whatever. You keep your thoughts to yourself, or you get popped in your mouth. But I guess people are not doing that anymore. I don't have kids, so I don't know. But yeah, that was a big no no to be disrespectful to an elder. Um, so, but yeah, so I just hey Sheed,
Hey, how's it going?
yeah, thanks for coming up and saving me because it was gonna be a real dry conversation with just me.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I was just tripping because I'm noticing more and more aggression in society amongst women, and I don't know where I've been, but people getting wild out here. What's your experience out there?
yeah. I mean, it's an emotional roller coaster with a lot of women and men. You know, in this day and age, you have way more men in their feelings about things than anything. And that's why I always tell people I do the little Maxwell thing to say, well, I think that song is a woman something feels a woman something and I'd be like, why you? I mean, I understand, because from a young child, a young boy, he's always told, don't cry, they don't hurt, don't do this, don't do that, and to a degree, you get emotional, and I understand that, but it's a time and a place for everything. Even like these women that doing their thing, it's a time and a place, and it's just more or less they want to dominate so much. Because I was on a panel with a woman and she was like, I have to be masculine at my job. And I was like, why did you say that? And she was like, well, I do. I said, so you have to be a man. And she's like, no, I'm not saying I have to be a man. I say, well, most people use when you start pushing masculinity as a man. I say, why you just um no, no, no. She did say, she said, I have to be more like a man when I'm at my job. And I was telling her that's masculine. Just say you're masculine. You don't have to say, I have to be more like a man because most men are used masculine or leadership in that role. And that's what she was saying at her job being a supervisor. She have to be more like a man, like to be more masculine and being a leader. I'm like, why not just be masculine? Why not just say you have to assert yourself because of the position that you're in? I mean, if you're going to be masculine, just be masculine. You don't have to say you're a man. And, it's taken on the role to where now a lot of women, kind of force a dominating role in society where it comes either with men or dealing with other women.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I think that you can, in any position, you can maintain your femininity without and get work done without like over being over pushy. Like I can tell you what I've managed men before, and I say, hey, okay, this is what we need done today, because I actually like it because they come in and they want to know what we got to do, and they get to it, and then they ready to go because they gotta make their money and go to the next thing, right? So it's possible to be a supervisor and not have to be masculine. You don't necessarily have to be masculine or pushy. You have tasks that you have to do. You get them done, and like I say, this was back in the day though, because I don't know. People are a little bit a little lazy now. You might have to do some finagling to get folks to do work, but I don't know. I don't feel like you have. And I was an EMT working around mostly men, and I never felt like I had to. Be I just with as an EMT, you just what you got to do is you got to be able to do the job. You got to be able to lift. You got to be able to move the patients. You know what I mean? So you don't come in there and you can't do the job. Because you're it's a two-man crew. And sometimes you got to take people downstairs and stuff, and they can't move. So you got to be able to hold your end of the bargain. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. I think that amongst women, men don't necessarily see it, the microaggressions, but I think that the microaggressions are getting more and more frequent amongst women. Um, and they can people can be really really nasty. She so it's like it's just a trip. You know what I mean? I don't know, but also
Yeah.
go ahead.
Now I was just saying, yeah, I see it all the time because even you was talking about the case with this the lady that committed suicide was a model.
Hmm.
I mean, and to the degree of her getting bullied like that, and she, like, I was telling the guy that she talks about mental health all the time. So it's not something that she's, new to when it comes to mental health. She had did mental health last month, I mean, well, last year, to where she was, taking on a lot of, stress and going to therapy, but she was trying to coach other people through things that she was already going through herself you know. And I
Hmm.
mean, you can have the best or the worst. No one's, kind of excommunicated from that. You're gonna go through any form of mental health dealing with people just in general, because everybody has this sense of, they're better than one another. If not, they're gonna break you down to their level or something.
Yeah, that's true. And her being a public figure just exposed her to more people, more criticism. But also she was overworked, and that's a whole nother show. She was taking on too many tasks, and she had alluded to that. She was feeling. But the thing about it though, she is when you're in the entertainment industry in any way, and it relies on your looks. You have a window of time to work with. You know what I mean? You have a window of time to where you can do your patchings, and then and then you're hot, and then all of a sudden you're not hot anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
big thing, especially with vanity, in which you have to, live yourself in a certain light and have a certain image. I mean,
Right.
that's they. A lot of the models, remember the back in the day, they used to have the models that threw up and the girls that threw up. I heard about it in different schools, but none of that in my school. But certain schools that had it to where the girls was want to stay skinny, they were throwing up and stuff to just to look a certain way.
Right. Right. There's more. There's even that much more pressure, but it's like in the entertainment industry, it's not good. You age out faster. Like, in the healthcare industry, working in the hospital, you come in there 80 years old, ain't nobody gonna say nothing long as you can do your job. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how you look, long as you come in there, you clean and you do your job. But with the especially, I notice now that society is a lot more about looks. Like back in my day, it didn't seem as if we was so much about looks. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is you got to look. I guess because they say the Instagram culture where they've got these people with these fake bodies and fake lives and stuff like that. They stunting in front of cars they don't own and all this. Look at this guy. The what you call it? The Tinder swindle. I don't know if you saw that. This guy that on Netflix, this guy that was swindling women out of millions of dollars.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
Netflix movie.
it's on Netflix. Yeah, the Tinder Tinder from the app Swindle,
Uh huh.
and
The
this
Tinder
guy,
Swindle.
yeah, he $10 million out of women. What he was doing, he was showing a fake lifestyle, and all he was doing was taking money from one woman to impress another woman. So if he's taking money from Sally, the money he got from Sally is what he's using to charter jets, wear Gucci, buy rent sports cars, and he comes up with a story about how he's the heir to a diamond, family, like an old diamond family or something like that. They do diamonds, and it's all a lie. It's all a
Hmm.
lie. And he was just taking, and it's so sad because one of the women that he got was, contemplating suicide. He had her $250,000 in debt. Now, how you give somebody $250,000? I don't know. And she had just met him. She met him the first day he took her on a jet, and I would have been afraid to go on a jet with somebody I just met, because you don't know what, I mean. So much happening out here in the world, but
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah. So I think maybe too it has a lot to do with um, well, there's a couple of things. I know when I was little, is it we were taught not to make fun of people, and people probably not teaching their kids that no more. And so everybody around us was, we were poor, and everybody around us was poor, but we never knew because we shared. So that's gone. We ain't doing that no more. So
Definitely. You know.
and then when people started coming around in these nice cars and wearing jewelry and stuff like that, um, they other people felt, I guess, like they needed to have it, and it brought about jealousy. And I think that bullying in some ways is rooted in jealousy.
Hmm.
So yeah. So but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, hey, before the billions, thank you for joining. Um yeah, I was sad to hear that, and I was also sad to hear about Regina King's son too. I don't know, some these poor young people. I feel sorry for them. I don't even know what if he was just suffering from depression or what.
I ain't hear about him. What happened with him?
Regina King's son.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he committed suicide, Ian.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Yeah, I don't
committed
stay too
suicide.
much
This
with the
was
news.
a couple of weeks ago, I think. Yeah, it was all over the
Mm.
place. Yeah, because it was like
Yeah.
nobody knew. No, I guess he was suffering in silence. He didn't. Um, he didn't, like, I know Taraji P Henson has come out and said that she thought about it, and but she also had. I read her biography, and her dad suffered from that. I think he might have been a Vietnam vet or something like that, but he had some
Hmm.
mental illness too. He was homeless and stuff like that. But it's according to her, he was a good dad. Other than that, you know, he just had
Yeah.
hard financial hardships and stuff like that. But he wasn't like a neglectful dad or anything like that. So, um, but yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. So I don't have um too much. Did you want to say anything else about this topic?
Yeah. I mean, just have an understand. Like I always talk about the knowledge of self and knowing who you are. And
Mhm.
if you don't have an understanding of yourself and the direction you're going, you're just gonna be led astray. Even with this whole thing with the social media, everybody's being entertained and everybody's being led by the vanity of which everybody else has, and it pushes you into a mindset of getting more, dealing with certain issues. And that's why I say I kind of got away from this gender war topic because, like I say, to the standard, I'm married and dealing with all these guys, and to me, it's just emotional issues. To some guys have real, vices and pains, but that's something should be discussed amongst family and friends. Talking to most of these guys on the internet, it's entertaining for them, and I just hope they, get some help and get some understanding that, when it comes down to it, that's why I try to focus on the money and get people more, try to get life insurance, try to prepare their kids because, the knowledge will help you move through this. Like this situation dealing with this young lady with suicide and Regina King's son. If the knowledge was a little more there, they would seek help and try to get more of an understanding because you're not going to be 100 unless you're willing to open up and have an understanding. That's the thing with an alcoholic. If you have an understanding, you got an issue with drinking, and you open up and you seek the guidance or you look for help, you deal with it better. Without getting no help, shutting it in. That's when you drink more. You might drink yourself to death, or you might end up getting cirrhosis of the liver. So the whole point is, knowing you have an issue and seeking help.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to have some sort of spiritual grounding, and whatever your belief system is, you have to
Yeah,
disconnect yourself from this world and just kind of tap into your spiritual grounding and not and the most important thing I think too is not to compare yourself with other people because you don't know how people got what they got, and you know what I'm saying, you don't I mean I've seen people have like a head start, like family buy them a house when they get married or hand them a envelope with $30,000 cash in it, you know what I'm saying, a start like that. It's like you don't know what people have had, what kind of leg up they had in life, or what kind of leg down. You don't know. People have had hard lives too. People have had hard lives. I was telling my mom because she's a resource parent, also known as a foster parent, and I was telling her a lot of these social workers and different professional people you see were in the foster care system, you know, over this past 20 years. And I didn't even know Paris Hilton was in a group home. I guess she was having some behavioral issues or something like that, and she spoke out against it because she was mistreated in that group home, real bad. And so you just never know what people go through. And I just say, never. My motto in life is never to compare myself to people. Oh, I wish I was in a relationship. Oh, I wish I had that car. Oh, I wish I had that big home, because to whom much is given, much is required, you know. And them sisters be earning them Valentine balloons and roses and stuff like that. They be working to death, you know.
yeah,
So yeah. So I just, that's how I walk through life. Just enjoy life. Listen, enjoy life, what is given to you. Take every moment, take each day moment by moment, and don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to other people. Whether I'm ugly or cute, fat, skinny, poor, rich, I'm just me, and that's all I can be. And that's pretty much how I go through life and why I don't let stuff bother me no more. And as the older I get, and you see old people who just they don't care no more. I'm getting to that
yeah,
point. They just, whatever. I'm almost out of here. I don't care.
yeah. Because
So,
it gets to a point
yeah,
you try to impress people, and it's like, for what? You impressing them to where they go back and they still might say something about you. So, why not work on yourself and then just treat yourself better and do you? Because at the end of the day, like I always say, nobody's not gonna love you the way you love yourself.
that's
Dedicate
right.
that time, and instead of buying a nice fancy car, dedicate that time and taking some memorable trips so you can look back on life and say, man, I went to the best vacation ever versus, man, I got this car that keeps breaking down and I keep putting money in,
Hmm.
you
And
know.
I still got a car note because now the car
Yep.
notes is what, 10 years long.
hmm
Shoot.
I get all my cars, I pay for them cash because I told my wife, I said, your car, I'm gonna get your car from a dealer, but it's gonna be still used because if anything goes wrong, I got a warranty for it because it's low miles. I got a 98 Dodge Ram. I'm constantly putting a little money in there, fixing on it. But like I told my wife, I said, well, anything happens, I just fix on it till the wheels fall off. Then I just go get me something else because I just don't see myself paying. I was looking at a pickup truck. It was a brand new 2021 3500 Dodge pickup truck. It's a Spider, Black Spider, I think Black Web was Black Spider. They wanted
Hmm.
$115,000 for that truck.
Oh my God.
The note was $1,000, like I think it was $1,095 a month.
Mm.
That wasn't even including the insurance.
So you be
That
you
was
be
just
paying on that thing. That's a house. That's a house.
exactly. Yep.
Mm. At least a house in the South, anyway.
Exactly.
I've seen some nice houses in Louisiana for that price. Yeah, yeah. I told my brother I kind of just want to be on public transportation, even though I do travel nursing or whatever. Just be on public transportation, and if it boils down to it, give me a little cargo van where I could throw a mattress in the back if I want to travel, go to the East Coast or
Yeah.
whatever for travel nursing. But and then also in a cargo van, I can run packages, for UPS or whatnot. Just
Hmm.
make money for me. You know what I'm saying? And like you said,
Yeah.
pay it off. Pay it off.
Yeah.
Uh,
They
yeah,
got
because that
they got
all that
Amazon
stuff is
Flex
stress.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They got
All
that
that stuff is
Amazon
stress.
Flex.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I'm just saying they got the Amazon Flex. They got Uber. They got DoorDash. They got all kind of apps you can use now for delivery and everything. So I heard
Mhm.
DoorDash is better than Uber and driving for Lyft and Uber because the DoorDash you actually know the money you're gonna make before you like accept the orders to go deliver to the people.
Right. Right.
Yep.
And then you can, with a cargo van, you can do UPS and US Postal Service. You can run
Hmm.
packages for them, FedEx, I think too, and Amazon, and you can run
Yep.
packages for them and do pretty well. I mean, have your own contracts
Yeah.
or whatever. But also,
Yep.
I could also just throw a mattress back there, put a little toilet and maybe like a little hot plate, and just fix it up. Just run it around the country in travel nursing. That's how I'm thinking now because I want a simpler life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm not stressed out. And as you get older, that's when you just want to enjoy life, and just go like you say, go to the national parks, go to the beach. We don't enjoy ourselves no more. We work. We work too much. We
Yeah.
work too much, I think. You know, my older generation of aunts and stuff like that back in the 80s, they was like retired, their stuff was all paid off, they was married, or if they wasn't married, they had romantic relationships with their significant long-term relationships or whatever, and they just enjoyed themselves. you know they enjoyed themselves, and they kind of corralled the family, kept the family together. So I don't know, uh I don't know. It seems like it's more materialistic now, and people are more lonely. So
Yeah.
there's not a lot of socializing and whatnot. And I think that's could be why the young people are having such a hard time. They're not connected.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And that's what the community see. And nowadays that the family is more self, versus the community and family building. Like I was telling the guys earlier, I was looking at the census where someone looked up my family tree and had my great grandmother and my grandmother staying in the house with my great great granddad, and it was about 17 of them in one house. The census said that 17 of them stayed in one house, and I was like, 17 people. They didn't have 17 rooms. So, you had people staying on top of each other. The kids who had families, my grandma, my uncle, and my great granddaddy stayed in the house. So, they probably got a room, or they probably got a corner of the living room to where they had their little pallets out and stuff. But the family took care of family. Family worked with each other. Nowadays, you don't have that. Kids get kicked out when they turn 18. You don't have no knowledge of money. You don't have no knowledge of finance. You don't have, no sense of direction, but you got to go to college and you got to get out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the society we living in right now. No, there's no sense of helping the youth, but to push them out there and live like the way you live. We got to break that cycle in which, if I got it the worst way because I didn't have no guidance, I shouldn't push that to my kids not to have guidance. I should push them to be better because I always say, as parents, I want my sons to do better than me. if I own a truck, they need to own the business that deals with the trucks. If
Mhm.
I was a nurse, I would want them to be a doctor. And it's not
Mhm.
nothing to say if they don't make it, I'm not gonna be feel less of them. But the point of it is, I want the best, if possible, I can provide or help them obtain certain goals.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I was on another panel the other day, and me and this guy were at odds because I spoke about how the baby boomers let the properties go, and they should have held on to those properties. And like I'm here in LA right now, a lot of LA, there's a lot of black folks here that owned a lot of property, and now their kids are out because the boomers sold it. The kids are out on the street homeless. You see, so
Yeah,
it's that stuff's supposed to be passed down, and you best believe these immigrants are gonna pass that stuff down, make sure they churn and have theirs. They're not gonna
yeah,
be selling and saying you get out and get it yourself. No, that's not how it works. You got like you said, you build on top of each other. You build, you know what I mean. You don't just take everything you got, cash it in, and tell them to get it themselves. And you making each generation struggle. That doesn't make any sense. You know.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so this was a very good and productive discussion. But yeah, I just it's a big problem that probably has to be revisited. But I just wanted to get on here and talk about it because I noticed that it's more and more people in society, and even unprovoked, people will say stuff to you. You know what I mean? And you look at somebody that's full grown, and you be like, "What's wrong with you?" You know, and you can see through the news and all these cams and people holding up their cell phones and stuff. You can see how people behaving. To me, they behaving like children. You know?
Yeah. Worse than that. Like animals,
Yeah,
uncaged animals.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Psychopaths.
'Cause- yeah. Especially you have this reports of what's her name, Char Willie. I go to her channel. She always have on Saturdays the Karen like files where they talk about the women just going crazy in store. This lady literally tried to cut in front of this lady um at I like Victoria's Secret or something. She was buying some panties and the lady
Oh, I
tried to
remember
cut in
that.
front of her. Yeah, and they
Mhm.
had a big old did she fake fainted and stuff. I was crying. I was like, what is going then she terrorized the lady chasing around the store. I'm like, how you go from this stage emotional mindset of passing out to rage to back to saying, please don't, I can go to jail. Like,
Yeah, she knew she was wrong, and she wanted to act like she had a mental problem, but she knew she. But yeah, but people are acting like women are acting like that. Men are acting like that. Where they're the grown folks, where they're doing stuff like a little spoiled brat child. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? Some of them come in and they come in looking for a problem. Like I was the other day I was with my brother, and this lady was just behind me. I'm pulling into a uh, uh, shopping center, and next thing I know, I'm always scanning and looking in my rearview mirror and side mirrors and just being careful. And next thing I know, she's right on the back of my thing. So I come up because as soon as you pull into a parking lot, it's a high speed bump. There's like two of them because people go so fast, and people coming out of the store with their kids and whatnot, and kids run ahead and things like that. And so
yeah,
they have to try to control that with speed bumps. She's pushing up on my bumper, so I go over the first bump, and then she's like pushing up on my bumper and then braking, pushing up and then braking, pushing up, and you know how you make your car jerk. So I
yeah,
move over to let her around. She wasn't even coming in the parking lot. Just people have I want to say mental issues, but I think that people are just unhappy and they're pushing that off on other people. You know.
yeah. They try to find a reason to do anything. I mean, that's like you have those issues with the police. They have a
Mhm.
bad day. They try to find a reason to do something to somebody. It makes them more accessible for the things that they do as probable cause.
Right, right. People are trying. Yeah, I guess that's what it boils down to. People are taking out their frustrations from their life on other people. I think that's what it boils down to. That's what my brother said. And I told him, I said, you know what? You see foolishness like that? I say it's a lot of men sitting in jail behind women like that start stuff with other people, and then in LA, it's a gang culture out here. So you don't know who's related to who. Next thing you know, you got a whole family, you got families against each other. For what? For what? You know? Folks are getting killed for what? It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I'm glad I'm old, man. I am glad. She.
Yeah, that means
So.
you still got to get out of them young kids' way because they so disrespectful nowadays. They don't care about the age. Yeah, I mean, they tried. One dude tried to cuss my auntie out and was talking about he's gonna take her outside and beat her up. And this dude 23 because he mad because he couldn't try to holler at my 18-year-old cousin. And
Mhm.
the dude told me he was gonna put his hands on her, told her to come outside. So, my aunt, she carry a scalpel around, but I'm like, Auntie, you don't need to be fighting nobody. You too old to be fighting people. And so the police walked up on him, and then he was trying to be nice then. And then another lady came outside and was like, she was like, that man said he was gonna put his hands on her. She walked out the door and he followed behind her because he wanted to talk to her daughter, and she told her no, she too young. And so the police was like, come in and grab it. He's like, no, officer, there ain't nothing. And he ended up ran his name and made sure he didn't have no priors and then before he let him go.
Mhm.
But he's like, how you gonna try to fight an older lady? Come on, man, over a young girl. He's like, dude, if she say no, it's no. Like these young guys have no sense of direction. If you say
They
no,
don't.
then you the worst thing since sliced bread, and I don't like you anyway. Well, you must have liked her some type of way to try to ask for a number.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're very volatile and very dangerous. And I'm gonna. I don't know about your aunt, but I'm gonna definitely get my weaponry and go down to the range and get myself prepared because you're right. They don't have any respect for elder for age like we used to. You know, they don't.
yeah,
You know. So and it's dangerous. It's dangerous for your aunt and dangerous for your niece because like you say, they it's taking no for an answer. Some people just don't, they won't let it go. Follow them home and stuff like that. It's so dangerous out here, everywhere, everywhere. Man,
yeah.
it's
There
it's
was a
rough.
Yeah, because that was an issue down here in Atlanta, or over in Decatur where I stay at. A guy walked in. Walked in the whole store without his mask on, and he got the mask around his chin, but he didn't have it up. So when he get to the register, the lady tell him pull the mask up, and he said, "Man, I got one on. I'm good. I'm about to leave." And she was like, "Can you at least just pull your mask up? I ain't gonna tell you no more. It's store policy." So they were exchanging words. She cussing him out. He cussing her out. He paid for his stuff, go to the car, get his gun, come back in and shoot her.
I remember
And I'm
that.
like,
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember that because she was a popular worker at that store. People was like, well, what?
Exactly. Yep.
And there was another one incident like that too in Detroit where this security guard asked the lady to pull her mask up. She goes home and get Daquan and Jack Tavius, and they come back and
At
kill
the
the
Dollar
man.
Tree. Her
Mhm.
son, I think it was her son and boyfriend, or son and husband.
Mhm.
And her oldest son ended up killing the guy with the gun and ended up going to prison. So
Yep.
now
All,
because
all
you
three
don't
of
want
them.
to
So
wear a
now.
mask. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm. That's why I say a lot of these guys be in jail behind women. That foolishness, like my friend from Philly would say that they were good for that, because a woman will come and bump another woman real hard, start a fight, and then go home and get the brother, the nephew, the uncle, and all, and next thing you know, shoot them up, bang bang, and you got people dead and going to jail for the rest of their life. So what did that? profit you. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, she, I really appreciate you coming up, and it's so much more interesting when I have somebody to talk to. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's Valentine's night, folks. Is gonna do they thing with they boo. So I'm not gonna stay on here too long.
All
All
right.
right, she. Thank you so much for joining. Did you have any closing thoughts you want to add?
Nah, I'm good. Just had a great
Okay.
conversation.
Okay, she. Well, I'll catch up with you when you have your broadcast. I'll be checking in on you and trying to go through you and give you some watch time too. When I have time, I try to go through everybody and give them some hours.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good day and happy Valentine's to you and your lovely wife.
All right, you too as well. Thank you.